Hello and welcome to the Betfred Football Show. Paul Parker is alongside me. Huge weekend of Premier League action, especially looking forward to the 4:30 kickoff. Liverpool-Arsenal, so tight at the bottom of the table. And that's where we're going to start. At the bottom, some managerial vacancies. First of all, starting with Leicester. Leicester moved after that defeat at the weekend.
Yeah, but if you remember, Mark, this was being talked about quite early in the season, wasn't it?
They got off to an awful start, didn't they?
Yeah, but then as well we had Kasper Schmeichel go in, and there's all issues around that. And they talked about maybe Brendan wanting to go, and that was what I was hearing, that he was looking for a way out. But that seemed to get quashed, put to bed. Everything seemed fine, and then we get to where we are, and you look at that. I mean, that was a last-minute goal. I mean, it couldn't have been that. There was obviously a lot more going on just than that. I mean, that happens to a lot. I mean, it was a good goal, but people get caught out in the last minute. But it's one that I think that in the end you see a lot of the fans are saying they are pleased that he's gone. That's what the fans. What I've seen and read is that they're saying that they're pleased that he's gone.
They've got to move quick though, haven't they? I mean, the second bottom, there's just 9 games left. So if someone's going to have a crack of keeping them up, and look, it is tight. I mean, look what happened to Leeds this week. They're now up to 13th. So it is so tight at the bottom. They need to move quick if you're going to appoint someone. Now, Rafa Benitez is a favourite as we record this. Graham Potter is in the mix already. You got the Chelsea boss, the Celtic boss, would he move? You got Steven Gerrard, Nigel Pearson. Who's going to take the Leicester job?
Well, it's still quite a decent job. I mean, the one thing they've got a fantastic training ground, I have to say, maybe the best in the country. Same people who built the Spurs training ground have gone and done a better job there on that one. But when you're looking at it on the football, it's a decent club. But it doesn't make sense to get rid of somebody and not have anyone to come in straight away. So I just wonder if they're hoping that what they've got within is going to do the job for them. To go and bring someone in now, you're not guaranteeing. There's no guarantee that they're going to be managing the Premier League. Can I see Rafa Benitez doing that? No, he'd only come in just to have a go and go away if they go Championship. So it's a really difficult one to look at that side. Graham Potter, they've said that he wasn't interested, and I get that. I get that the reason why, because the next job he would think long and hard before his next job, because I think he jumped into the Chelsea job because he had to, because he might have been questioned if he didn't take the job on, but it wasn't a job to suit the way he manages, because the way he manages is like he's Brighton and it's within a part. He's got a say. No different to the way Brentford work as well. So to go into Chelsea where they're saying you've got him, take it and deal with it, is not the way he wanted to manage.
So Brendan Rodgers went Sunday afternoon, and then early Sunday evening there was a change at Chelsea. Graham Potter gone. Now, again, as we record this, we're expecting Frank Lampard to take charge until the end of the season. Now, the first thing he should work on training tomorrow is shooting. They created loads of chances, didn't they?
They do, but it's not shooting, Mark. And remember, this is me with my great record of scoring goals. It's confidence. I mean, you saw people when they got in, more than anything, Havertz, he crumbled when he got in front. He literally crumbled. He become goal shy. The work, everything against Liverpool they'd done, the build-up play, everything was absolutely fantastic. But every time a player got in that position to score, they crumbled. It was no different the game before that. Before that, they crumbled when they got in front of goal. So that is the big problem. It's finding somebody. They need a centre forward, which everyone does. Everyone's going to say that. Top, middle and bottom. You all want someone's going to give you a certain amount of goals, or someone who's going to finish off a good move. But they're not far away, Chelsea. Defensively, midfield-wise as well. You look at the way their midfield was. It looked better. Their midfield with Kante coming back. They look better. He made such a difference when he went in there. So Chelsea are not far away. Frank going back still doesn't seem right to me. Doesn't make sense. Seen him on TV. I think everyone clicked. I think, hold on a minute here. There's something going on.
What are you doing there?
Yeah, what are you doing there all of a sudden? But a lot of...
He's their top ever goal scorer, of course.
Yes, but there was more to it than that, to be honest.
So you're unsure of the appointment. So, look, they're 11th on 39 points, 9 games to go. Look, outside chance of, say, Europa League football or whatever. No chance of a top 4. But obviously, the appointment has been made ahead of Real Madrid away next week. Now, ironically, they got rid of Lampard just before the knockout stages of the Champions League when he was sacked by Abramovich, and then Tuchel came in and actually won the Champions League.
Yeah, but that was a different scenario to be. The team really needed something different, and then they got it in Tuchel, and he made such a difference. I don't think Frank has got that bit about him to go and do it. We're hearing the talk of, but he knows the club. Jose Mourinho didn't know the club. Ancelotti didn't know the club. Look how they done. So knowing the club for me makes no difference at all. The one thing everyone knows, he has got a loose cannon man owning the club. That is a big problem.
Well, it's just
already.
become official. He's in charge to the end of the season as we record this. So you're surprised by him going back for Frank Lampard?
In certain ways I am. I am surprised he's going back, but he knows he goes back. Whatever he does, then he's not going to get questioned. He's only there to the end of the season. He's got 9 games. Even if he wins all those games, he's not going to get the job. Some fans may call for it. I think the Chelsea fan, the born and bred Chelsea fan, the one who's seen the bad times and the 20 years they had under Abramovich, was suddenly in Frank's time, of course, they'll kind of go, thanks, Frank, but not really. They need to move on.
Is this buying them time for Nagelsmann or Luis Enrique?
I think it has to be that way. If Frank was to go and win all those games, there's going to be maybe some of the new age Chelsea fans will be calling for him off the back of what he'd done for him as a player.
What if he won the Champions League?
Well, when you look at it, that doesn't make any difference because the way the Champions League is set up, it doesn't work. I can't believe they're going to get past Madrid. Madrid are the past masters of beating English sides in Champions League.
And it's not a managerial vacancy, show, but very quickly, there's still a vacancy at Tottenham, of course. Do you think they're going to wait to the summer now to move?
I think it has to be now. They can't just rush in now because they'll be opening themselves up for maybe more dogs abuse if they were going to bring someone in now. If you're any manager of any sorts and you may be thinking about that, you'd want to start from scratch rather than start from now.
And Brendan Rodgers is up there in the betting to take over. Could you see that?
I could maybe see that in a way, because they have talked about, a mutual agreement between him and the club at Leicester. So maybe that's what he was maybe thinking himself, that, maybe a job available for him and that side of it to get away from one and jump in the other. They all do it.
Won trophies at Celtic, didn't he?
He did.
Won the FA Cup at Leicester as well.
Yeah, that was a long while ago. You look at it, everyone's been mentioned for this job. Tottenham, as we see already, how is that going to change that job unless Daniel Levy's going to maybe try and do something different? Is it Daniel Levy's fault or is it the manager's fault? At the moment, we're into blaming owners at this moment in time.
Right, it's so tight at the bottom of the table, isn't it? It's from Palace down in 12th on 30 points. Southampton are bottom. Palace are 11-1 to go down. Southampton are 1-5. Forest 4-6. Bournemouth 4-5. Leicester 15-8, Everton 2-1, Wolves at 7-2, and that win for Leeds at home against Forest, they're out to 9-2 for relegation. There's actually loads of relegation tricasts on our website. So, for example, Southampton and Forest and Bournemouth all to go down. That is 3-1. Southampton, Forest and Leicester to go down. That is 5-1. Check out our website. Right, let's go through the individual matches, starting with the TV ones. 12:30 on Saturday, Manchester United versus Everton. Still no Casemiro. Everton searching for the points at the bottom of the table. Manchester United are in 4th at the moment. They have got a game in hand on Spurs, who are 5th. Rashford is 28th goal of the season against Brentford. Yeah,
and that's all you can say about Marcus Rashford, to be perfectly honest. He scored, and that was it. What you could say about Manchester United, they won, and that was it. If they perform in the same manner at the weekend against Everton, they will get beaten because there was no drive, no passion. Brentford had an opportunity one-on-one. It may have fallen to the wrong player. But David De Gea, again, when called upon, delivers. Simple as that. There's no one better in the league at doing that than David De Gea has been for Manchester United this season and previous seasons. But United, it was just, they got 3 points. That's all you can say. It was a dour, lacklustre performance.
So rewind, say, 6 weeks. Where has that passion gone? Because you certainly weren't accusing them of a lack of passion 6 weeks ago, were you, when you sat there?
No, definitely wasn't. But I would look at it more. that when they haven't got a Casemiro in there, they lose their way.
Is that the difference?
No, it's not the difference in that. He makes a difference in that midfield. Players are alive more, and he orchestrates the game when he's in there, the way they shift the ball. Eriksen, is you can see now, he's being missed because he lengthens the game, because teams are aware of his ability on the ball. They defend a bit deeper, or they get to him quick, so they close up the play. That means there's more room in behind for Rashford to run, which is his strength, to run onto things. But I look at it, some of the players who have lifted their game under Ten Hag, some of them are getting back into their old ways, which they've done for previous managers. It's a fact. It's there, it's in their DNA. They can't keep it going, and I think they've kind of been seen in a way, found out, and that's where they are at this moment in time. The manager is keeping them going. Casemiro coming back after the Everton game will make a massive difference. Talking about maybe Eriksen being involved as well, that will lift. Players will lift themselves a bit because their top-notch players are getting back, and they'll feel more comfortable with them now. The bonus is that Martinez, whatever you want to call him, has still been the rock he is. His consistency has been massive for Manchester United.
Because if they finish fourth, which they should do, we've got a very good chance. They're still in 2 cups. They've won the League Cup. That will be a very successful first season for Ten Hag, won't it?
I'm saying at the moment in time, if they was only to get to the get a Champions League spot in the league and a League Cup win, it's been a fantastic season already. It was unexpected. Champions League was something they really wanted badly, but the bonus of winning a trophy has made it even better. But the fact of, yes, they're in a semi-final at Brighton, can't be expected to win it because Brighton are a better side now than what they were under Potter. They're more progressive in the way they attack the final third now, and they're scoring more goals, or look more likely to score goals as well. So that's a difficult semi-final. And of course, they've got Sevilla in the next game in the quarterfinals, but they're in a great position, something that no one expected.
Quick word on Everton, obviously rescued a point on Monday night against Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, that
Great goal by
It
Keane.
was a fantastic goal, and it was down to Spurs and the way they are at the moment. No confidence at all, no belief, and that cost them dearly. But Everton are fighters, they're scrappers. They did it last season, and they will go and do it. Everton's strength, though, is Goodison Park. So for United, for me, they will win that game against them. But Everton, you look at all those teams down there, they're not going to go down. They will fight their way out of it, and they will not go. To be interesting, I'll be surprised if they got beaten at Goodison between now and the end of the season.
Give us a prediction then for Man United Everton.
That game there for me, United maybe, I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0 Manchester United. Let's move to the 5:30 kick-off. Southampton host Man City. Southampton beat Man City in the Carabao Cup at home. How do you see this one? He's back as well as Haaland.
Well, that makes a difference in a way because the goals they definitely do shift the ball around better, and the goals around us should say when he's not there, rather than feeling they've got to keep supplying him because you can see the runs he makes. They want to throw. He's looking for the ball to be played in front of him. City don't play that way, but he does make a difference. Will he start? That'd be interesting after that performance. And Pepper's come out and said that was their best performance last week, by the way. So that will be interesting to see if he will do that. But I would expect City to win this game. I'm going to turn around and City to win this one 3-1.
3-1, that's a 5:30 kick-off. 2 o'clock Sunday, a huge game, 2 o'clock Sunday. It's Leeds versus Crystal Palace. Now, it's so tight at the bottom. A win for either team means either Palace will stay in 12th or Leeds will move up to 12th, or either team could drop as low as 16th. It's so tight at the bottom of the table.
It is 1 minute you're up, and the next minute you're down. The way it works out, and at the moment in that bottom bit. But Palace, I don't think will have Zaha. Zaha looked like he tweaked a groin, so I'm not sure if he's going to be available. And he does make a difference there. They do need him sometimes away from home. They need someone who can pull a rabbit out of the hat, and he can do that. It's like a draw, this one. I'm going to have to go with Leeds at this one at the moment, especially the way after that, after their last result. And the fact of they're at home, and Leeds are another side. When they're at home with those fans and they're crying out for something, they always go at it. And against Palace, who have been a bit meek away from home, I'll go for Leeds to win that one 2-1.
2-1 Leeds, and Leeds would move up to 12th. Huge game on Sunday at 2 o'clock, and in a cracking game at 4:30. I'm looking forward to this. Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Well,
which Liverpool are going to turn up? Well, Liverpool at home have been pretty good.
Liverpool at home have been. Yes, they beat Manchester United. They seem to gear themselves up for it, but they let themselves down in other games, other than the big games, and that hasn't been questioned by anybody, which I find very, very strange. But they pull up other teams on that one rather than Liverpool. So the fans will be making everything horrible for Arsenal, make it as nasty as possible as they can. And in that game, I would look at it. No one's going to be surprised if Liverpool were to win that game, just for the fact of the occasion, everything about it. So Liverpool to win that game, I think. I would say Liverpool to win that game. I'm going to say 2-1.
2-1 Liverpool. Obviously, Man City fans will be cheering on Liverpool on Sunday. Look, it's clearly a two-horse race. 8 points between the sides. City have got the game in hand. City entertain Arsenal later on this month. Who's going to win a title then?
I'm going to still go with City.
You think?
Yeah, just the way they played last weekend seemed like City. They were back to where they were. Okay, Haaland comes in. I mean, that's the defining one about Haaland, because great sides win leagues. They have goal scorers everywhere, not desperate for one goal scorer, and they proved that last season, City. But I'm going to go for City to win the league.
Right, let's quickly whip through the 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday. Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest. When Unai Emery took over, Villa were 16th. They are now 7th. Looking at European football.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a patch where they'll win a good performance and win one, then lose the next with a poor one. But he's addressed that situation, and he was never given a chance in his country in his first job. He's been given a chance by Villa, and he's proven himself. His big test will be next season, where Villa will expect that little bit more, but I have no doubt that he will go and do that. But I'll go Villa to beat Forest. You have to, because Forest are poor.
Awful away from
home.
Yeah,
they're awful, terrible. I thought there was something different the other night when they actually went 1-0 up. But, yeah, it come back to haunt them again. So, yeah, Villa to win that game.
What score, Paul?
I'm going to go 2-0 Villa.
2-0 Aston Villa. Brentford, Newcastle. Interesting game for Newcastle. Obviously beating Manchester United at home. Big performance against West Ham last night. So can they follow it up on the road at Brentford?
They didn't play to their best. I was disappointed with Brentford. I was expecting more from Old Trafford last night. I didn't see it definitely in the first half. Second half, they maybe edged the second half, and they kept everyone on their toes, and I mean the fans on their toes in that second half. They had that little bit more of an edge about them. Brentford at home are a different proposition. They're very much, in the way they play, two teams who can spoil a game when they get themselves in front. Brentford and Newcastle are both like that. I'm going to go Brentford to win this game. I just got that feeling because...
What score?
I'm going to say Brentford to win this game. I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0 Brentford. Fulham, West Ham. Fulham will be out. Mitrovic, and West Ham were woeful. Loads of mistakes against Newcastle as well.
Yeah, and it was just about the mistakes. Because I've been told about this, and so many people have said to me that you would never have thought that Newcastle won by that many. It was outrageous mistakes. I haven't seen them. I've seen one. I've seen the third goal straight after half-time, which was shocking. To even think about doing that, given the position, they'd worked so hard to come in at half-time 2-1, West Ham, and to go and do what they'd done, mentally killed them, killed everybody once they went and done that. The edge had gone once they conceded that. But Fulham have been poor. They've been poor. Everything has fallen out of place. The Mitrovic situation hasn't helped. The manager didn't help himself or his team by the way he conducted himself after that. This game's got a great chance of being a draw, to be perfectly honest. 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Leicester-Bournemouth, a huge game. This is Leicester in 19th versus 18th.
Yeah, Bournemouth get a good result. No, I didn't expect them to get anything from Brighton, even though Brighton have got a poor record at Bournemouth. But Bournemouth could have another one bad, next one decent. They do enjoy a celebration when they do win a game, which you don't really want to do at this moment down there, do you? Because those old words of egg on your face come to mind. But Leicester are desperate now. No manager at the moment. I'm going to go Leicester home win 2-0.
2-0. Spurs versus Brighton. Which Spurs are we going to see?
Well, look, any Spurs we've seen this season haven't been good. At the start of the season, everyone was lauding them because they was up there, but they didn't deserve to be up there because the football was poor. If any Spurs fan would say that right now, they was up there and they're going, I don't know how, but we'll take it. Now the poor football is still very similar, but they're not getting the results anymore. But I'm going to look, the Brighton were excellent against Brentford. That could have been 14-3, that game. And they went to Bournemouth and won a game which everyone expected them to maybe get beaten but be a bit unlucky. I'm going to go Brighton to go and win that game at Spurs, 2-1.
A connected question. Do you think Harry Kane's waiting to see who gets a managerial job before he decides what to do this summer? Or could it be the summer that Harry Kane moves?
I don't think so. I think he'll stay where it is. We've got everybody out there who keeps saying that, oh, poor Harry hasn't won a medal. If poor Harry really wanted a medal, he would ask to leave and he would make it known himself. Surely he's got a right to say that. And I think every Spurs fan would allow him to say it. Come out and say it. If you want to leave and you're not happy, say it because you want to win something. No one could question anybody who's got a desire to win a medal, to go out and be involved in a dogfight to win a trophy, to win a big trophy. Come out and say it rather than everyone else demanding that he does, which I don't understand because no one can demand any individual. He should be winning a medal. Why? Why should he? If he wants to, go out there and put yourself in a position to go and do it. He might be quite happy at Spurs, breaking all records and doing that. That might be his achievement, which he wants. Let him have that if that's what he wants. He's gone past Jimmy Greaves. He might want to take it further so no one beats his. Let him go and do that. That's his right. But Harry Kane, he's the only one who can actually tell us what's happening next.
And finally, Wolves versus Chelsea. Ironically, this would have been Frank Lampard's next game in charge if he had not been sacked. So Wolves versus Chelsea with Frank Lampard as interim manager.
Such a big occasion. This game has gone now massive now. So I'm going to say this could be the game. I'm going to go for Wolves to win this one. Wolves to win 2-1. Maybe Chelsea to score 1. I'm giving them 1. Yeah. So
huge week for Chelsea. Real Madrid midweek as well.
But that's the thing about it, isn't it? Really, there's that game there. Is Frank thinking about the big game, or is he thinking about what's more important? Is to get a good performance and a win. Because to go into a game like Real Madrid, you come in, you want a performance for everyone to get confidence and bounce off. And Wolves is a bigger game for Frank at this moment in time rather than worrying about a European game.
Scoreline then?
I'm 2-1.
To Wolves?
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to recap Paul's collections. Selections has gone for Manchester United 2, Everton 0. He's gone Aston Villa 2, Nottingham Forest 0. He's gone Brentford 1, Newcastle 0. Fulham, West Ham 1-1. Leicester 2, Bournemouth 0. Spurs 1, Brighton 2. Wolves 2, Chelsea 1 for Frank Lampard's return. And then Southampton 1, Man City 3. Sunday, Leeds 2, Palace 1. And the 4:30 kickoff. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1. Paul, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Enjoy your football this weekend. Keep your eye on these managerial appointments. Will we get some appointments before the end of the season, or will we get interim managers like Frank Lampard taking over at Chelsea? See you next week.